So good afternoon. Hopefully everyone has had a great day up until this point. My name is Rocco Agostino. I'm one of the lead account managers here at BGL Corporate Solutions. And this afternoon, I'll be taking you through SMSF management, bulk entity setup, dashboards, and fund reporting. And this is part of a series of webinars this week that we've been running for Simple Fund 360 Education Week. So just a few housekeeping things before we get started. There's a lot of material to cover, so we'll go through a few housekeeping things. So what we have done this afternoon, every attendee is on listen-only mode. It's not in any way to disrespect anyone. It's just to give everyone the same opportunity to hear me clearly and just so no background disturbances. What that means, though, is you've also got the Q&A panel to communicate with myself and my colleagues, Daniel and Norman, which are online on hand to answer any questions that you may have. So any questions that you have, put them in the Q&A box. They will attend to them as quickly as possible and provide you with the best solution as possible. If they don't, I'll see it and I'll answer it online as well. We should have time for a Q&A at the end if you're holding on to your questions until the end. The good news is, so take note of this one. We get questions about this all the time. So this webinar is currently being recorded. The good news is because you have registered for this, you will receive a link via email to this webinar recording within the next couple of days as well. So rest assured, you will receive a link to this webinar via email. If you don't, it will be posted on our YouTube channel as well, which you can use to refer back to later on. Just quickly, as I said, today's webinar is part of a series of webinars. So this morning we started with pensions and deemed segregation. Hopefully you attended that one and got a lot out of it. We're now going through bulk entity setup, dashboards, and reporting. Later this afternoon, for those that will be joining us, I'll be taking everyone through the work papers module in Simple Fund 360. And then tomorrow we round up our week with optimizing operations with workflow jobs, document screen reporting, and AI. If you haven't already done so, I recommend you definitely register for that session. There's some great technology using AI within Simple Fund 360 and what's coming soon. So if you want to have your mind blown away, definitely register for that one. If you can't make it, still register. We will send you the recording. It's one that you don't want to miss. And we'll round up the week with best practice and fund processing tomorrow afternoon at 3:30 p.m. As I can see, one of my colleagues has put in the link so you can register for those webinars as well. So just look within the panel there and you'll have a link where you can register as well. So this week, as I said, was Simple Fund 360 Education Week. Next week, we'll be moving on to Simple Invest 360 Education Week. So if you are a Simple Invest client, you're more than welcome to register for the Simple Invest 360 webinars, which will be run next week. Even if you're a potential client or prospective client wanting to know a little bit more about Simple Invest, definitely attend those sessions. You will get something out of them and you'll be able to assess if Simple Invest can meet your needs. And the week after, again, from the 14th of October to the 18th of October is CAS 360 Education Week. So if you are a CAS user as well, definitely attend. Again, prospective clients or future clients, attend that and just see what CAS 360 can do for you and if it's the solution for you to manage your company compliance and corporate compliance as well. So we've got a lot of content that we're generating for everyone. So definitely register and attend. If you can't register, if you can't attend, definitely register. We will send you the recordings and you will. This is a great resource to keep on file as well. Just with this afternoon's agenda, we'll get into the material quite quickly as well. So the agenda is what we'll look at this afternoon is bulk entity setup, dashboards within Simple Fund 360, and some fund reporting. So running reports, customizing reports, and things like that. So bulk entity setup, you're probably thinking, what is this, how it can help me? So what it is if you're adding a large number of funds to Simple Fund 360, we've given you a tool which will allow you to add those funds or create the fund shell in bulks, as opposed to clicking on add new fund, fund name, fund code, ABN, fund formation date, fund financial year. We've given you a template via Excel, which you can input all that information in. Most accountants or every accountant is very good at Excel. I've seen a few people punch things in very quickly. So you can punch it into Excel and then quickly upload it into Simple Fund 360. And as it says there, it leads to quicker times, which then allows you to start inputting opening balances into your fund and start using the features within Simple Fund 360. So it's a great little tool if you're adding more than one fund to Simple Fund 360. And I'll show you how that works. So what we'll look at doing is we'll download the template, which is within Simple Fund 360. So if you are a Simple Fund 360 client, you will have access to the template. And then we have the field mapping options, which we'll go through and adding all of those. And then we will also look at importing that file into Simple Fund 360 as well. So what I'll do is we'll stop using the slideshow and we'll go into Simple Fund 360. So hopefully everyone is familiar with Simple Fund 360. So this is our home screen, but from here, we will navigate to bulk entity setup. You may have never seen this, but we'll have a good look at it this afternoon. So we click on bulk entity setup, which will take us into the module. So from here, I won't go through the import guide because that's what I'll be going through on screen. So I won't read through all of that. Don't want to bore you this afternoon. But what we'll just cover, just a few key things to keep in mind. So what we've got is the counter at the top with licenses remaining for both Simple Fund and Simple Invest 360. So it's the bulk entity setup. So you can also add other entities, not just SMSFs when doing this. So this tells us that we have sufficient licenses. So we've got 987 spots to add funds and 22 licenses to add other entities as well. So tick, we can start importing our entities. The second thing, which is very important, we know a lot of our users have access to multiple licenses. So just check if you are a client that's using multiple licenses or has access to multiple licenses, you are importing the funds into the correct license. So we've got a little check here, which says you are in the BGL Vic training license. So tick, we'll mark that off there. So what we want to do now is down the bottom here, we can download our Excel template. So we simply click on template. And what I'll do is I'll open this one up just to show what it looks like. This is what our template looks like. And all we need to do from here is put in the entity name, entity type. So we've got a little drop down here, SMSF trust or company, put the ABN in, date formed, financial year start date and financial year end date. I won't do any of this live. I'll just import one that I've already prepared earlier. So what we will do is we'll navigate back to Simple Fund 360. Click on this. I'll go into my downloads and I've got bulk entity setup here. Click on open. And what it will do is it will pick up the file that I've created. So I've just put in a few bits and pieces of information in there. And now what we need to do, the second step, is to tell the system which column relates to what piece of information. So from here, I can say this column is the entity type. ABN has been picked up automatically for me. I'll just tell it it's date formed, financial year start date, and financial year end date. Very nicely there. So someone's just asked where to download the template. Very easy, just down the bottom here. So I've got download Excel template. You click here and it will download to your downloads folder quite quickly. And it's just this Excel template here. So nothing too fancy. And then what we can do is once we've put this information in, we can click on import. The good thing is when we click on import, it will validate to ensure we've got the correct information. So just a key little thing to take note of, if you are taking notes, is we do a check against the ABN. So that's why my ABN is the same, because it's a testing ABN. If the ABN is incorrect, the import will fail for that particular entity. So just take note of that one. If the dates are in the wrong format, it will fail as well. So just make sure everything is nice and neat, which in this case, I think it is. Let's give it a whirl and see what happens. So we'll click on import. And once I see this, I know it's going to work. So I've imported those three entities into Simple Fund 360. It's been successful, which is fantastic. I can give myself a nice pat on the back. But what we'll do is I'll go into entity selection and we'll just make sure they are in there, which they will be. So I've got Education Week, Rocco Second SMSF, which was in there. All there as well, and Rocco's SMSF, which is in there as well. It's duplicated because I imported that file previously into here. So it won't create two funds, it's create two because I've previously done it. So what we can do is I'll just click on this top one here, Education Week, click on Edit, and we can see that it's picked up the name, financial year, ABN, and my date formed you saw how quick that was as opposed to the old process of home, add new entity, and filling out this page, create entity, and then going back. We've basically done this step for 3 entities in bulk very quickly. So you can see the time savings there. So we're trying to eliminate all the admin work and give you some time back to start actually processing, adding the fund and adding the opening balance for the fund in Simple Fund 360. Okay, so that's the entity setup, bulk entity setup module. What we want to do, I'll just quickly go back to the slideshow, is we want to look at dashboards now. So we've created our fund. Let's assume we're putting opening balances in there already. That's another hour webinar in itself. So now we want to look at the dashboard. So we want to look at the fund dashboard, contribution dashboard, pension dashboard, and investment dashboards as well. So what we'll do is I'll navigate back to Simple Fund 360. And I will select my fund here. So what we've done is when we select the fund, it takes you into the fund dashboard. This screen has so much information here. It's quite valuable to a wide range of stakeholders for this particular fund. The good news is, which I will mention in a second as well, is you can invite trustees into Simple Fund 360, and they will have access to the fund dashboard and the other dashboards I'll show you shortly. And this allows you to offer that extra level of service to your clients, so they can have a login to Simple Fund 360, log in on their computer and view this information themselves. If you want to go a step further, you may just want to take note of this and do research in your own time, is we've got the BGL Engage mobile app, which you can download from the range of app stores, so the Google Play and the Apple App Store as well. So your clients can view this information on their mobile as well. So very powerful tools that we're giving you here in order for you to offer a better service, or an enhanced service, should I say, to your clients. So from here, we'll look at the screen. We'll work our way down the screen. We've obviously got the important information of the fund here on screen. You can edit the fund details. We've got the share with function here. So if you're looking to give access to the fund to your trustees, you would use this function here. So you can share with BGL support. So if your support consultant ever requests access to the fund, this is how you would do it. If you want to invite your auditor in on a fund per fund basis, you can do it this way. So you can click on invite auditor. So I select auditor, put in first name, last name, and email address. If in the fund relationship screen I had an auditor input, this would have pre-filled automatically. I don't, so I just need to type it in if I wanted to. And then the last step is you can invite a trustee into here. So you can put their details in here, and you can invite the trustee into Simple Fund 360. What I normally recommend, we won't go through it because we've got a lot to get through this afternoon, is under settings, just check the user role and the trustee user role, because that's what they'll be assigned, the level of access that they have. So if you want to revoke anything from them, you can just turn the toggle off on that particular user role there. Also, I've shown you how to invite the auditor through here. I'm pretty sure everyone's pretty aware that you can click on invite new user, invite auditors in bulk by inviting a new user and selecting the auditor user role there. But the other option is to do it from this screen. What I particularly like about this screen is we've got a workflow indicator. So these boxes here is what we call our workflow indicator. So quite quickly, by clicking on the fund, you can see what I call the to-do list. So I don't have any unmatched transactions. Don't have any unmatched transactions that need to be matched. That's great. Pat in the back. For me, I know I've got 7 corporate actions, I need to review for this particular fund. I've got a pending distribution that requires tax data input via the distribution tax automation screen. Work papers, which we'll do in the next webinar, so I won't touch on this one. You can see if you've got any work papers for this year. A common question that we normally get is, when you're using digital signing, how can you track your documents? So you can quickly from here, click on here, which I won't at this stage, click on that, and you can see which documents still require signing by your clients, and you can send a reminder to your clients via the system. So here I've got no unsigned documents. It's fantastic. They've all been received back in. SuperStream and data feeds, very powerful tool here. I really like this. It gives you a nice overview of what needs to be done or reviewed within the fund. As you can see here, you can also add notes to the fund. So for example, if I'm going on leave and I want to leave someone a to-do list, I don't want to email it to them. I don't want to write it on a piece of paper. I want it within Simple Fund 360. So it's there when they click on the fund. I can do that here. So what I can do is I can click on add note. and say, wait, Rocco was here, for example, won't do anything too fancy, click on save, and it adds that note there for me. So I can see I added one here 7 days ago to lodge any return before the 10th of October 24. I can reply to that as well. I can edit that and I can delete that note if I need to. So anybody that comes in here can reply and say, yes, it's been done. It'd be a bit weird if I reply to my own one, but someone else could do that as well. We've got our investment dashboards, which is a nice summary of what's going on in this fund. So we can see here our total investments and the breakup of them from this pie chart and their performance over the last 30 days here. It's a very powerful tool that we've got here as well. If you want to dig further into this, what you can do is open up the investment dashboards from there very quickly. Again, you can give access to your clients to this, and via the mobile app, they'll have access to a similar view. And what you can do is you can look at the investment dashboards here very quickly. So we've got the deeds performance dashboard, which is very, very powerful. So you can see your investment performance over the last month. We'll leave it over the month, but you've got the variable dates up the top here, which you can change, and you can obviously type them in if you wanted to here. You can export this to PDF. We've had a lot of feedback of clients wanting to export this to PDF, just given the value of information on this particular page. So this, we've added that button there for you. So you've got the closing value of your investments, income and market gain, all here. And then below, people like me that like numbers, you can see everything with the numbers on here as well. So you've got all that information here on screen for you. Very nice there. We've also got the time weighted performance. So we look at the, we compare with the ASX here. So the ASX, SP ASX 200, and we can see how our investments are performing on this graph here for a given period of time. Again, down the bottom, we've got all our investments categorized in their particular groups. I don't have a large range of variety of investments in this fund. So just a bank account, a few properties, Australian shares and overseas shares. So I can click on the type of investment and it will show me the performance over the last period. So I've got my investment property, my shares in listed companies. So it breaks them all down nicely here for me. And then my overseas shares as well. So Amazon shares, how they've been tracking. So again, very powerful tool here for yourselves and to pass on to your trustees. And then we have the investment strategy, which you can then use to benchmark against what's actually happened to what you've obviously put in the strategy as well. So I don't have one in this particular fund. And you've also got the investment value here. And then you've got the investment strategy comparison down the bottom here as well for you. So you can check how everything's tracking. I haven't put anything in, so that's why everything is 0 on my one. Again, very powerful tool in the investment dashboard. We'll scroll down the list. So we've got our jobs area here as well. So if you're looking at managing your jobs through Simple Fund 360, so there are other apps out there that do this. I know Xero does this as well. So manage jobs. So similar to Xero, you can manage your SMSF jobs within Simple Fund 360. So you can create tasks for users, track where they're at. We've got triggers. So once you've lodged, that job automatically ticks off. You'll be able to view this all from the dashboard. I don't have any jobs for this particular fund, but if I did, they would show here, and I can add a job from here. There are webinars on this, as I mentioned, which you can view to get a good insight into that there. We've got our members dashboard here on screen. So we've got 3 members here in the fund. Very powerful tool here as well. So you can quickly at a glance see that we're below the concessional, non-concessional caps. Pension cap, we're under the minimum. So we need to withdraw a little bit more to meet the minimum requirements for this particular one. So Jeevan needs to withdraw a little bit more money here as well. And we can see for T-bar cap purposes, we're over the cap, and by how much we're over the cap there as well. So a decent amount over the cap. So quick snapshot of how our members are tracking. If you want more information, we've got some fantastic dashboards for you. And again, all this can be provided to the client as well so they can view it. So we've got a contribution dashboard here on screen. So we did get a little bit of a snippet of it earlier from the main screen, but this now provides us with a little bit more detail. We're digging into the detail here, the 23-24 financial year. So I've got our 2 members in accumulation phase here. So you can see how much more they can contribute. So they've got 27,500 for the concessional and the 110 for the non-concessional. So they haven't contributed anything for the 2023-24 financial year. Obviously, if there was super stream data, we could obviously check all of this to see why they haven't contributed anything, but that's another webinar in itself as well. And again, we can just check the carried forward concessional and non-concessional contribution caps there as if they've been triggered or not. And we can always flick through different financial years if we need to do so from here. So I can just flick it to a different financial year. And yes, these caps have been updated for the 2024-2025 financial year as well. The dashboard that we'll look at is the pension dashboards. I particularly like this one when you've got pension members within a fund, just because of the information that it has is invaluable here. So you can see here what's been drawn down, so what they've drawn down during this particular financial year, and what they need to withdraw to meet their minimum pension payments throughout the year as well. So there's a question there, is there a report that will show which funds are over the 3 mil limit that came into effect on the 1st of July 25. If you look at the Insights dashboard, there is a section there where you can filter the member balances over 3 million. So you just set it to over 3 million and you'll be able to see which funds and then which members and export that to Excel. I won't go through that because we've got a lot to cover in the next 9 minutes. So you've got through the pension dashboard, you've got the information all here, which is available to your clients. So this is to ensure they draw down their minimum pension payments throughout the year, and it splits it with down to for all pension members. The other benefit of this particular screen is if I click on show more, I get a pension forecast. So assuming that in this case, Jeevan Hockey continues to withdraw $31,540. Again, it's not taking into consideration the market booms or crashes. This is just assuming things remain consistent. What his pension balance will be over the next 5 years. So we can see in 2028, or 4 years, sorry, in 2028, what it will be. So 480,000. Yeah, I can even adjust this number to do a bit of forecasting and change it to 50,000, and that will update and tell me what the balance will be if he decides to withdraw 50,000 from his pension balance there. So again, a great tool here for yourselves and for trustees if you're looking at inviting them in. All right, so that is our dashboards area. I won't flick back to the slideshow. It's just telling me to show you reports. But what we want to do is we want to now look at the reporting. So our report section here. So you click on reports and we've got our report screen, which is a very powerful tool in itself as well. So what I'll do is I'll take you through all the options. So here we've got our reporting dates. So current financial year, previous financial year, next financial year, current quarter, previous quarter. You can now run interim, or you've always been able to run interim reports in Simple Fund 360. A lot of people are unaware of that. So you can run interim reports in Simple Fund 360. Just remember the system is creating entries for you in the background automatically without you having to do so. So you can run interim financial reports for your clients, and you can use these reporting date filters to do so, or you can type the dates in here as well. We have badges within Simple Fund 360. So it's a matter of tailoring the look and feel of reports. If you're looking at what we'll look at, one of the last things that we'll look at is customizing a report. If you're looking at customizing a report, you must have a badge. So what I normally tell clients is, even if you don't plan on using anything other than the default options in Simple Fund 360, still create a badge using default options and just give it a name, which would be your firm name, because that will give you the ability to edit templates within Simple Fund 360. It's a little trick. A lot of people get lost thinking, hang on, I've been told I can edit a template, but I can't see how to. The little trick is you must have a badge set up and then select the badge when editing the template, which I'll touch on in a moment. You can search for reports from here. Very powerful. There are a lot of reports in Simple Fund 360 now, so I wouldn't recommend navigating through all of this. It can be quite painful. So if you're looking for a report, for example, statement of financial position, just begin typing and it will find it for you. You can sort the reports by alphabetical order, A to Z, or from new to old. New to old is from any new reports we may add to the very last or very first reports we ever added to Simple Fund 360. So you can rearrange it in that order. We've got tags. So if there's common reports that you would use, for example, you can tag a report. So what I'll do is, for example, I can add the Rocco tag to a series of reports, because these might be my favorite reports that I normally run. And then what I can do is I can filter by tag. So I've only got the one tag, but I can select my tag and it'll bring up those reports there as well. Again, another filtering option for you there. What we then have is this option here called report pack. What this allows you to do, it allows you to create a set of reports that you may consistently use to send out to your clients. So very easy. So what you would do is under financial reports, I use financial reports because it's very easy. I would add a front cover, statement of financial position, and then I might select, for example, just to show you how to do it properly, member statement, and add that to my report pack, and then click on save your report pack. Let's call it Rocco's pack and save. And that now will be in Simple Fund 360 for all my funds and for all users to use. So what I've done there is I created a template. So all my funds, I can run this report pack for all my funds when I'm in them there. So I can see it's there on my list. I simply select it and I've got it all there. So I'll just clear it just to show you. And you can see here, you can have unlimited report packs. And I set that from there. A few little bits and pieces. I know we're running short on time now. A few other little bits and pieces. You can preview the report from here or download. I won't do any of that because it is a little bit boring. But the difference between these two screens is download will attach a copy of the reports in a document screen for you. So if I click on download, then I'll let that run through quickly. So I've done that, which is great. If I quickly flick to documents, it's attached it there for me right now. So that is the difference between preview. Preview won't do this, what download does. It saves a copy against the fund. Again, if you're inviting your trustees in and you've given them access to the report screen, they'll be able to see that and download for themselves as well. So we'll just go back to reports very quickly. A few other things to keep in mind is you've got reports that have individual report settings. Very important if you're looking at altering the look and feel or the way the information is displayed on your report. So you click on settings, for example, do member statement, for example, and you can alter the look and feel of the member statement by the member statement settings there. So you can turn these toggles on and off based on how you want the member statement to look. What I'll touch on quickly is digital signing as well. So if you've got digital signing enabled on your license and in the report pack you have a document which requires digital signing becomes active. So you can click on digital signing and then push this out for digital signing to your clients from here. So as I mentioned before, very important that you've got mobile numbers and email addresses input for your clients. You can update it from here. If you don't, put them in, and then they will receive a link to digitally sign this document via DocuSign. Got 1 minute left. I'll try to do it very quickly. So what we want to do is when it comes to customizing reports, as I said, you would go to badge and you would select different badge. I'll just select any badge. So I'll use Emily's badge. Hopefully she doesn't get upset. So what we can do now is once I've done that, navigate to custom reports. It's a little trick that not many people know. You'll navigate to custom reports and download what we call custom letter 1, but as a template. Just to show you, if I change that back to default, that becomes inactive. So I can't download that unless I've got a badge in place. So that's what I was talking about earlier. So I'll download this template very quickly. And I will show you it on screen. So what this document allows you to do is it gives you a list of all the mail merge fields available in Simple Fund 360, which you can use in custom reports or when you're editing reports. That's the one beauty of it. The second beauty of it is it tells you where the information is picked up from. So if you're ever using a mail merge field and unsure where the information is from, you can run this report and it will tell you exactly where the fund code in this case is picked up from. Fund code is from fund detail screen. Very powerful report. So what I'll do is I'll just quickly copy this. And what we want to do, I'll just click and go back, is I'll bring up my member statement from earlier. Oh, sorry, meeting minute or resolution is what I want to do. Trustee minute or resolution. And what I want to do is download this particular template, it's a minute template. So we'll download this document very quickly. I know we've just gone over time. So I'll download this one. And what I can do is I'll quickly paste in, once I enable editing, I can quickly paste in that mail merge field of the fund code into my template. I'll just make it really big. I'll save that. And then what I'll do is I'll navigate back to Simple Fund 360 and re-upload that template into Simple Fund 360. So I'll just go back into my downloads folder. That's the one I've just done. Open. I can upload against other badges. I won't be doing that. Click on Upload Document. And my template has been edited. Just to show you, I'll quickly run it to PDF. And the good thing is, if you've already got a template of your own, so you can see there, I've got the fund code appearing there on screen for me very quickly. That's a quick way, quick edit, but you can go as detailed as you like. So you can add footers, pictures, logos, whatever you like to this particular document. The good news is as well, I know a little bit over, but the good news is what you can do is if you've got a template of a document, from here, you can go into custom reports and you can upload your own. When you click on add custom report, using that custom letter 1 and 2, you can upload your custom report with the mail merge fields in it, and you can use that as well. So if you've got an engagement letter, for example, which we don't have, you can upload it in custom reports, have each of the respective mail merge fields in there, and you can add it here. And then, so I'm assuming the welcome is a typical engagement letter someone's added here. You would move it to your report pack and you can run it as you like there as well. So that, in a nutshell, was the fund dashboards and a bit of reporting and report customization on the side there. I'd like to thank you on behalf of myself and BGL for attending this webinar for Education Week. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope we see you for the rest of them. And if you're not planning on attending the rest of them, hopefully you enjoy the rest of your week, and we hope to see you soon. So we thank you very much, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your afternoon.